Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, residents of St. Vincent and the Grenadines have been advised to prepare for a possible water disruption during the dry season, but to also be prepared during the upcoming hurricane season. This advice came from the General Manager of the Central Water and Sewerage Authority, Mr. Winsbert Quo, on May 14th. Mr. Quo, an advising persons on water storage at that time, said that this is a practice that should be utilized in the rainy season as well as the dry season. We hear more from Mr. Winsbert Quo.
We depend on a resource that is not under our control, but we also depend on you, our customers, to inform us, to let us know when you have a problem, and also to be prepared in terms of having some storage capacity. So if we have to deliver water to you, you can receive that water, or even to make your home more water secure in the future. And this is not just for the dry season. Remember, we have the wet season, the rainy season coming up, and there could be service disruptions. Yeah. So what we are saying here is not just for the dry season. I want you to get that as well. We are a vulnerable country. Where we are, probably one of the most vulnerable countries in the world. We are exposed to cyclones. We have a volcano. And now with climate change, we can have dry conditions. So as a people, we have to get more resilient.
That was the General Manager of the CWSA, Winsbert Quo. The Atlantic hurricane season is the period in a year from June 1st through November 30th when tropical or subtropical cyclones are most likely to form in the North Atlantic Ocean. These dates, adopted by convention, encompass the period in each year when most tropical cyclogenesis occurs in the basin. Education ministers across the region are poised to convene an urgent virtual conference to address the recent decision by the Caribbean Examination Council, the CXC, to suspend select subjects formerly offered at CSEC and CAPE levels. Minister of Education Curtis King, speaking on radio on Wednesday, disclosed his outreach to education ministers within the OECS and broader CARICOM sphere following CXC's announcement. Proposing a gathering through the Council of Human and Social Development, an arm of CARICOM, King emphasized the need for collective deliberation on the CXC matter. Additionally, Minister King extended invitations to education counterparts in the Bahamas and Suriname, despite their examinations being outside CXC's purview. Both nations pledged their support and expressed eagerness to participate in the imminent virtual meeting. Still on the local scene, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture Carlos James expressed concern at the intention of the International Development Association, IDA, to reduce significantly the concessional terms of its loans to certain small island economies, and says that it will no doubt adversely affect life, living, and production for developing countries. Minister James made this statement during his address at the 4th International SIDS Conference, which was held in Antigua and Barbuda. We hear more from the Sustainable Development Minister.
It is an opportune time for the international community to fully commit to addressing the special case for sustainable development of small island developing states in light of our unique and particular circumstances. It is therefore concerning that the International Development Association, IDA, expressed its intention to reduce significantly the concessional terms of its loans to certain small economies, all of which are among the most vulnerable countries in the world. These intended actions will no doubt adversely affect life, living, and production for developing countries.
That was the Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James. Minister James, in his address, stated that each step towards resilience is a hard-won victory, and the advocacy for special circumstances for SIDS must be unwavering. On to news in the region. Canadian YouTuber Chris List has been charged under Trinidad and Tobago Sedition Act for allegedly publishing a seditious audio and video publication on social media. According to Loop News, Chris List, real name Christopher Hughes, upon summary conviction, could be fined $3,000 or serve 2 years in prison. If convicted in the High Court, Hughes would face a $25,000 fine, 5 years in prison, and the seditious material seized. Hughes, who has over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, was in Trinidad and shared several videos on his YouTube channel over the past couple weeks. He was detained on Tuesday morning during a police operation by officers of the Special Investigations Unit. Jamaican Cabinet Minister Senator Matthew Samuda has confirmed that he is a British citizen. Samuda, in a statement on Thursday, said he has started the process of renouncing his British citizenship since public debate erupted recently over the dual citizenship of opposition leader Mark Golding. The governing Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, and many of its supporters, including Transport Minister Darrell Vaz, have hammered Golding over his status as a British citizen, holding the office of opposition leader in Jamaica, and have called on him to renounce the citizenship. In weighing into the issue last week, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness posited that any individual seeking to lead the country as Prime Minister or anyone serving as opposition leader should not hold dual citizenship. Finally, on the international scene, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has warned China not to cross a red line in the South China Sea, where a standoff between the countries continues to escalate. If any Filipino died as a result of China's willful actions, he said, the Philippines would consider it as close to an act of war and respond accordingly. Mr. Marcos was speaking at a security forum in Singapore attended by defense chiefs from around the world, including the US and China. In response, a Chinese military spokesman accused the Philippines of deflecting the blame on China and smearing and attacking. In recent months, a long-standing dispute between China and the Philippines over territory in the South China Sea has sharpened into aggressive clashes. Manila has complained vociferously about Chinese patrol ships firing water cannons at Philippine boats and supply vessels. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 5:30 for WEFM's evening news, and we thank